The home selling process in 10 steps. Welcome to Jerome in Real Estate. I'm Jerome, your local realtor here in the Colorado Springs area. And today we're going to be talking about the home selling process in 10 steps. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you want to do when you decide to sell your home is you want to go out and find a good realtor, right? And that's going to take a little bit of a screening process, right? And what you're screening for could be any number of things. It could be, just finding a realtor that is a good fit for you. Possibly you're very motivated by the type of communication that person has. My personal favorite, you want to find someone who's going to tell you the truth about your property, right? And the transaction in general. A lot of times sellers don't really have a unbiased opinion of their home, but you definitely want the realtor to be able to tell you the truth about your home, right? At that point, you want to start strategizing with your realtor, right? You want to figure out, okay, when's the best time that we'll be able to go on market? What's the marketing plan looking like? Are we going to have an open house? What about online? What about websites? What about, some of these other sites that are out there that you can push advertising to and such? What about flyers and door hangers and all those types of things, right? So you want to discuss a full marketing plan with your realtor when you're moving on. And of course, you should have already discussed the price and, some of the benefits and negatives to pricing a certain way. You should have already discussed that, but you can continue refining that as the process moves forward, right? So step number 2, you want to immediately identify, and make necessary repairs, right? And this large and small repairs. Some of the most common ones you'll see is, a lot of people love to repaint everything in the interior especially, right? And they also look at floors. They love to redo floors. The kitchen is usually a big one that people will look for. But I would say that you definitely need to have a good conversation with your realtor to ensure that some of the updates you plan on making are either necessary or that they're fitting your goals, right? A lot of times people will try to over upgrade, and that's a conversation you can have with your realtor to ensure that what you're doing is actually fitting in with the goals that you have for selling the house, right? After that, you definitely want to deep clean the house, the entire house, and start decluttering, right? You want to remove or store excess furniture, and you definitely want to do what we like to call depersonalizing the house, right? So you want to take down photos, any valuables you have. You definitely want to secure your valuables, right? If desired, this is the time where you and your realtor want to go through and try to stage the home in a certain way that's desirable to the buyers that you're looking to draw in, right? But definitely key in on removing the personal items and valuables and stuff like that. Those are just security issues, especially the photos and things like that most people would just normally leave up on the wall. Keep in mind that photographs are coming and they're going online, so that's a security issue for your family, right? And that brings me to my next step: photos. What kind of photos do we want? Well, professional photography is what you want, right? You want an expert coming in that can present your home in the best light. And the best people for that are professional photographers, period. Okay. Right after that, you should be at the phase where you can list your house, right? At this point, It's going to go up on the MLS. It's going to also go out to certain feeds and websites. And then your agent, your realtor, is going to be able to conduct showings. If you agreed upon an open house, you'll have an open house, right? You'll get website traffic. And a big part of that, all those showings and open house website traffic, do not forget to ask your realtor for the feedback that he or she is receiving from these showings and even the website traffic and all that. What are people saying about your home, right? That way you may be able to tweak certain things and get it to a point where the potential buyers are falling in love with the home and get you a better sale. Okay. At this point, you may start receiving offers, right? And this is the next step. You will want to review every single offer. And a good realtor is going to present you every single offer that comes in. Okay? This is the ethical thing to do. We are legally bound to present you with every single offer that comes in. I would say the only exception to that is if you draw up a contract between you and the realtor saying that certain offers that don't meet these particular criteria, you don't need to present to me. But that would be very rare. I wouldn't recommend it. Why wouldn't you want to see every single offer, right? And then there will be an offer that does pique your interest. Maybe you want to go ahead and accept that one, right? So you accept an offer, you sign it, and now you want to prepare yourself for the emotional roller coaster it could be to go through the inspection process and the appraisal process, right? So as I was saying in the beginning, most sellers will have an emotional attachment to their home. And having someone rifle through, like an inspector, going through and picking it apart, is not going to be palatable, right? So, you want to keep your emotions in check at that point. That's what your realtor is for, to try to be that buffer, right? To be able to tell you the truth about your home, while still acting in your best interest. Okay. Same thing with the appraisal, right? Problems may arise, but that's why you've got a realtor on your side who is interacting with the realtor on the buyer side to try to smooth over some of those problems. Okay. The next step is going to be just to pack up and prepare for a closing. Once you make it through those steps, then you're ready to pack up. You're ready to prepare to close, and it's important that you do so neatly, right? Do so without trashing the place on the way out. And the reason why you want to do that is because even though the inspection process is done and the potential buyers have seen the property, they've probably walked through it and seen it, they're gonna see it one more time before closing. And that's because there is a final walkthrough, right? So if they come for their final walkthrough and you've trashed the place, guess what? You're putting your deal in jeopardy, right? You may not be able to sell the home at that point to those particular buyers because you left the place completely trashed, right? That's not what they signed up for. And then the next step, if we get through that, then there's closing day. And on closing day, hopefully everything else has been taken care of. The only thing left for you to do is sign a little bit of paperwork, transfer the keys to the property, garage door openers, and don't forget the mailbox keys, right? A nice little touch can sometimes be, if you've still got the manuals to some of your appliances, let's say the refrigerator, the oven, stuff like that, if you've still got those manuals, go ahead and turn those over as well. You don't need to bring that to the closing, but leave that type of stuff right there on the kitchen counter, and it's a nice touch, right? So that pretty much wraps up the home selling process. I hope that was interesting for you. And as always, if you need more details, if you need to reach out for, certain tidbits of information, please do. Just reach out at JeromeInRealEstate.com. Thank you.